still not actually on and working with the camera, so give me just a couple seconds here, guys, to fix this up. I actually have no idea why this isn't working. I just updated all the Canon stuff, and still nothing, which is amazing. Thanks, man. No worries. Give me just a minute, guys, and I'll have my backup all set here. Really poor quality, but it's what I gotta do at the moment till I figure out the Canon stuff. Oh my god. Cool. All right. It's like this is what it's kind of got to be for the moment. Which kind of sucks, guys. Sorry. Well, I'll get this figured out later. Already kind of like way behind on what I wanted to get done today. Alright guys, give me just a second now. And Strike One, thank you for following and everything, man. Give me just a few minutes, guys. Let me get this reset up to watch this video. Oh, there we are. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start this up here. I'm gonna go ahead, music down and off here. Once again, thank you, Strike One, for following and everything, man. Just so you guys know right now, we're gonna do a little bit of news on Ashes Creation because they just did a developer update and stuff today, and I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. Kind of while it's going this, I will be doing some commentary on it, what I think about it. This MMO is basically the next one that has me excited with everything. I will be setting up my reaction to their AMA that they did. Give me another day or so throughout the weekend to get it done. I'm using a new video editing software and making a new intro for my YouTube videos, especially the ones that don't have to do with a tabletop campaign and everything, and we'll get that done here soon, I promise. But we'll go ahead and get started in this and see how it goes. Keep me updated on sound and stuff, guys. If it's too loud or I'm not loud enough, just let me know.
Hello everyone, welcome to our game development update for July. Ooh, it has been a crazy month for us. How are you two doing?
Doing good.
I'm doing very well. It's beautiful weather here in San Diego, even though we're not allowed to go outside, but no.
We can go outside. We
We
can't
can
be
go
inside.
outside.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Just like not too around other people.
I'm going to the beach.
Are you going to the beach?
No, we went last weekend though. It was nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Jeff's got some weird thing going on. Your camera's like doing some weird thing. I don't know what's happening, man.
It's
My
not me.
camera?
It's the
It's like the
aliens.
ghost in the machine.
Hang on, checking my connections.
But my heart is racing because we have lots of new people in our community. So first and foremost, I just want to say a huge Welcome to all of you who are joining us. If this is your first time watching a game development update, I'm going to kind of walk through what we'll be covering and some quick updates, and then we'll get into it. We roughly do these about an hour, but sometimes they go over because we really like talking to you all. And normally we do like a Q&A segment, but because we just did an AMA recently, and you can check that out on our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/assetofcreation. We aren't going to do a Q&A segment, but we will be pulling questions from the channel throughout.
Right now
And-
this game
Yeah.
is in like
So,
before Alpha
we
1
first
right
things
now.
first, let's introduce
So
ourselves
no,
so
it's
people
very
know who
few
we
people
are,
have
what
gotten
we do on
in.
the project
It took
for
me
all the new
forever to
folks.
actually get in.
Obviously, I'll start with Steve.
I've been following this game
My
basically
name
since
is
day
Steven
one.
Sharif. I'm the creative director
Gonna
as
move
well
this over
as
here
the
so that we
founder,
could see the
of
current
Rhythm
topic and
Studios.
everything.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of you have seen a lot of Steven around lately. He's been chatting with a lot of folks,
Yeah.
and answering a lot of questions. So thank you, Steven. And I've also seen you
Yeah,
popping in on the social media. It's cute. Sometimes I'm like
He's
going to reply to
everywhere these
somebody, and then I see that Steven has already replied, and I giggle because some of the stuff you say is really funny.
I apologize for some of my tweets from the official
I do,
Ashes of Creation Twitter account. Sometimes they can get a little memey, but I have a lot of fun interacting with people, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the interviews.
While they're
over the past
talking and
couple of
stuff,
weeks with
a lot
Tim
of my
Ashton Gold,
YouTube
with
stuff
Tim
has to
Descent.
do
It
around
was a
Ashes
lot of
Creation
fun
as
to
well.
just chat
I
with
have
fellow gamers
done
and MMO players who
a
share,
review
I think,
of
similar
Lazy
passion
Peon's
for the
video
genre,
on
it's been great to
what's
see
been
their
tested
community's
so far
reactions, and
in
it's
the
awesome
game.
to welcome you guys if
Their
this is the
direction
first
in
time
it,
you're
they
tuning
have a
into
very
our development
very,
update. We've been doing monthly development
well
updates,
directed
ever
direction
since the end
that they're
of
going with the
Kickstarter
game and
every
what they
month
want to
for
do.
the
They know
past,
exactly.
over 3
They're
years
not
now,
fumbling over
because
themselves
we
or
really do
or
believe
anything
in
like that,
the transparent,
which I
development
really appreciate.
process and how beneficial that can be. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this in the past, but how beneficial that can be engaging the community early on. Sometimes if you build a game up and you don't show anything of that game until 3 months out from launch, it's a very difficult
Steven,
to go back and fix
who's
things, and that
talking
can
right
cause a
now,
lot of
is
issues.
the main guy
So
who's
I,
actually
as a
put
gamer, am a firm
and
believer,
fully
and
funded
now
this
as a
game.
developer in
He
that
put 30
transparent,
million plus
process, and
dollars
we
into it
really
so
enjoy
far.
that you guys are now tuning in and helping us get that feedback.
First and
Yeah, I don't think
foremost,
we've
do not
missed one, have
apologize.
we?
Do not
Oh,
apologize
yeah,
for
man.
being
Give me just a second.
because I think that's awesome. That is our culture. I think it's okay.
YouTube, and that's my Twitter.
But I do think, on that front, it is very interesting and different to be showcasing development. So we do want to set the expectation that a lot of these things that you're seeing are in development. So yes, of course, animations are going to change. Of course, art's going to be updated. Of course, systems are going to be more robust. This is the first phases of them. So keep that in mind as you're watching things and as you're learning about things. And we try our best to explain that. But if you see it from a third party, it might not always give that same impression.
Yeah, one of the favorite
Strike Man,
things I
thank
have
you for the
actually about
subscription on
transparent
YouTube.
development, and now having 3 years under the belt in this production of Ashes of Creation, it's always fun to go back.
And we'll be
to,
doing
like,
this as
the
much as
first
we
gameplay
can
footage
before
when it was
everyone
just, like,
gets in
me,
for the
Jeff,
tabletop.
and a handful of other people in the studios, and take a look at where the game has come from at that time, and in 3 short years where it's at today. Keeping that kind of that storyboard timeline in place really gives you perspective on just how things with iteration become better and better and better. And knowing that, even though you're seeing pre-alpha gameplay,
Also
like
on
today
the
stream,
YouTube, you
or
will
saw
see
4K footage that we
all of
released
my
last
tabletop
month,
RPG
like,
stuff
it
of the
still
full
gets
campaign
much
we've been
better
doing
from
so
there.
far.
That is without polish, without optimization. You're getting an inside look at what it means to build this massive project. And really, we are one of the most ambitious MMORPGs I think really ever attempted, not because we're trying to reinvent the wheel, but because we are bringing in a culmination of these systems and designs we've seen in other games as inspiration on how to make a truly PvX, sand park experience. And I think that's something really fun to watch.
And of course, Jeff,
Yeah, I
if you
think
want to
we
introduce
should
yourself.
we should republish that first combat video.
No.
Then people can see exactly how far we've come.
When we launch, I'll agree with that. But
Okay.
until then, let's keep that under
I'm gonna hold
wraps.
you to it.
Because there's some percentage of an audience that's first-time lookers and they don't understand what we're saying right now on stream. They're not one of the 12,000 people who are tuned in currently, so they don't have context. And when they see that first video, they're gonna be like, "Oh,
You'll think it's amazing."
this is trash. This is dog, shit or whatever." So we got to be cognizant of that.
And of course, Jeff, if you want to talk a little bit about what you do on our team and all of that, jazz, because we haven't gotten to you yet.
I am Jeffrey Bard. I am the lead game designer for Ashes of Creation. I've been with the studio for 5 years now. It's been a while.
This guy
so
up
we like
here,
making fun games,
I have not heard him
and
talk
we're really
yet.
excited to share that all with you.
So it's nice to see the lead
So quickly,
game
I'm just gonna
developer
go
on here
through
as well.
What we're going to be covering today. We're going to be doing a studio update as per usual. Steven usually handles that. We'll be doing a design update. We also have some gameplay footage for you all, because I know you always ask.
Awesome.
We
I
will
love
be
more
talking
gameplay
about
footage.
Kind of harvesting and gatherable stuff. So if that interests you in crafting and things of that sort, definitely stay tuned for that.
I have played a
On the
little bit
environment side,
of
we'll
this
be doing an
pre-alpha.
environment update with a lot of updates from there,
It is the
as well
only
as a
reason
character
why
update with some
right
information
now
from that
that
front.
I can
Now, to
full-heartedly
get through the quick updates, just because I want to get through those really quickly, I'll
support
try to
this
go
game
fast.
at the moment, as I've
I'll switch
been
over to another scene
knee-deep
quick.
into it.
Oh, and just to, by the way, for those of you guys first time tuning in, these development updates aren't always really grounded in gameplay footage. You're going to see some gameplay footage, but really this is kind of about, I guess, showing the process of what it takes to build a game. So you're going to see a lot of art-related stuff. You're going to see, models of characters and creatures and mounts, and you're going to see, effects and design discussions, and, pretty much really this is focused on what it means to develop a game, and less around marketing or hyping, so to speak, the gameplay footage, as you may have experienced with other games. So just keep that in mind. The context of our monthly development updates are really focused on the production of the game.
Yeah. Sorry, I think you peaked whenever you got excited there.
Oh, did I? Was I
Yeah,
loud?
so the first thing that I wanted to showcase
Don't
was that we
peek
do
yet.
have new emotes on our Discord, so definitely go check those out. We have more coming along the way as
They're
we
so good.
lead up to Alpha, so definitely check them out. Jeff really likes them. As he was watching Mike make these, Mike's our graphics guy. Thanks,
They're like my
Mike.
favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah, he walked by, he's like, what is that? So cute. But yeah, this is Nick and Fee, or Fee and Nick. Phoenix, get it? They're amazing. We kind of had like these little characters. We have like a whole personalities for them. Nick is like the older brother. Fee's like the little sister who's always getting into trouble, and Nick's always cleaning it up. So we have a lot of fun with it. There's more emotes coming along. We're gonna try to get Twitch emotes. We know everyone keeps asking. Next, we have our packs. People have been asking me to let you guys know whenever those are going to be swapping over. These will be swapping over on August 5th, 2020 at 11 a.m. This is 11 a.m. Pacific, I should say. These are also noted in our news articles as we announce new sets, so you already know the dates whenever they're swapping over way in advance. So just keep that in mind, because some folks didn't realize that was the case. We do have...
And by the way, just a quick note on the pack stuff. I know we've been getting a lot of people asking how they can, purchase an Alpha 1 access. About 2 years ago, I suspended the sales of Alpha 1 packages, and that was primarily because we had already reached kind of the peak testing group that we wanted to have for Alpha 1 before we allowed additional people to come in. That may change in the future. It depends on how the testing will go. It would not change until after the initial stress testing and getting everything solidified on our end, where we feel comfortable that we can go above that 10,000 person limit that we restricted those pack sales to. So if that is something you're interested in, right now it's not available. You can always upgrade any package that you may own. But otherwise, if you don't want to buy a pack, it's perfectly fine. Just sit back. It's going to be not under NDA, so you can watch, other people playing on stream. You can get people's kind of idea of the game and its current status, and understand what we've implemented from a core feature standpoint as well.
Yeah, and we do have our bonus dev discussion up. This one is a little bit different because it basically came from the AMA with Steven. So we've decided to put out a multi-boxing conversation because it was kind of like a heated back and forth conversation. So we were like, you know what, let's kind of see what the community sentiment is overall. And then the dev team is going to take that report and kind of discuss it internally. And maybe we'll change our mind. Maybe we'll keep it the way that we currently have standing on it. But you can go check that out over on our forums, forums.ashesofcreation.com. And we also will have another new dev discussion coming up in August, as per usual. So stay tuned for that as well. We won't take one away. We're just giving you an extra one. because Jeff has a long list of questions for us to get through. So we're definitely trying to get through those.
Like a year's worth?
Yeah. And the last update that I have for you all is, I'm sorry if I'm talking fast, I'm nervous. There's so many people here. Someone's like, girl, slow down. All right. I'm going to switch over to another scene. We have this lovely statue that is still available. Our creative director's letter came out this month, so if you haven't checked that out, definitely go check it out. We did announce that our Leader of Men MPI testing will be coming up here shortly and probably around mid-August, so stay tuned for that. We are currently trying to get everyone's NDAs signed, so if you didn't see an email come in, definitely check your spam and junk mailbox because we have sent those out. We're going to send out another reminder today for new folks who have upgraded, so if you get that email, please check it over the weekend, get us your information, and our CS team will start back up on Monday sending out
And
those
by the way,
and
when I
giving you
start
flags
streaming
that
the
you have all
Alphas
the
and stuff,
information
they
as
have
we,
no NDA.
publish that to you.
And
They're
just
not
to-
holding any
just to be clear,
information back.
Anybody who registers between now and when is it, Margaret? September?
Yes, I was just going to say that. So this will be for anybody who has registered from April 7th, 2020 to September 7th, 2020. And we'll do, 12 a.m. or 11:59 a.m. or p.m. PDT.
Yeah, and there's no purchase behind this. All it is a account registration, so you can participate in the forums and get involved in discussions. Anybody who registers on the site gets this as a home decor item. It's going to be a pretty cool little item that signifies the struggles that we as humanity have gone through now with COVID. And are continuing to go through. It'll have a little.
By the
bit
way,
of some
yeah,
effects
just
as
register on the
portal
website
there,
and you get
and
free
will
stuff.
Be placeable in your home on a table or.
It's been an
mantle,
amazing
stuff
company
like
so
that.
far.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm so excited. So that is it for our quick updates. So let's get right into our studio update. If you want to take it away, Stephen.
Absolutely. So, as many of you have probably seen, sorry, my dogs are walking up. As any of you
Show us
guys have probably,
doggies.
I can't. The little thing, the camera's on like this tripod thing.
The little thing.
No, anybody who's been following, our socials may have noticed that we have now begun our next round of hiring. We have listed 24 positions that are available at the studio. I was a little bit hesitant early on with this COVID crisis to initiate that next round, but honestly, we waited as long as we could. It's not looking good from a coming back to the office standpoint with the working from home condition, but the team has been really amazing in maintaining productivity. As a matter of fact, being actually more efficient and working from home, as we've noticed. But the onboarding process while in a work from home state is obviously difficult, but we had to bite the bullet and begin that next phase of hiring. So I believe we've now secured about 7 of those 24 positions. So one thing that's really helpful, by the way, guys, if you like the ideas that we're talking about, if you like the philosophies that we have within the project, if you have favorite developers out there that you like, I'm all for you helping us share those posts for our hiring phases. Tagging your favorite developers and saying, "Hey, have you heard of Ashes?"
Yeah,
I am unabashed in that sense. So don't worry about doing that.
This is a very cool project, and it's something that I don't think too many developers will get a chance to work on. Where where we're at right now, and kind of the amount of contribution that you can make to the project. For a project that is this big, you get to work on a lot of really cool, interesting problems, and kind of be on the bleeding edge of MMOs. So
don't be afraid to share that. But otherwise, regarding studio update, I know previously I had hoped that we would have been into our new studio in August/September timeframe. Unfortunately, the way it looks like COVID is going, and especially in our great state of California, it doesn't look like that time frame is going to be possible. So it looks like I may need to push back us entering back into the studio, the new studio, till sometime after the new year, because with the rollout of our initial Alpha 1 testing being sometime around the end of fall, the end of this year, it would just be too hectic to come up upon that timeline and at the same time trying to service a live test client. That would be problematic in my opinion. So that's a little update on the move process, update on the hiring process. From a development standpoint, as you guys know, you have seen me likely doing some interviews and whatnot. The desire, let me just be clear, the desire there is not to drum up hype for the game. I know that hype can lead to the dark side for many projects, and we don't want to be on that front. What we want to do, however, is be open and transparent and give people the opportunity to discuss their feelings and their thoughts on our design ideas, to watch our testing periods, to give feedback in that regard. There is still a long road ahead of us. We are a very dedicated, passionate, and productive team. We have a lot of veteran MMORPG developers from many other favorite franchises that you guys have played. We just want to keep that open, transparent development process going forward. And that's really the reason for getting fresh eyes on the project. It's always beneficial, to take into account the feedback that, community members who have been with the project for a long time have, but it's also great, fresh, and constructive, I think, to receive new, fresh feedback from fresh eyes who may not be as close to the project as our existing community. And that doesn't mean we don't love our existing, I love our existing community 100%, but it's great to diversify the feedback. I think that's something that's very beneficial as well. So you've seen me doing some of these interviews. That really is intended to get fresh eyes on the project, get that fresh feedback. But otherwise, that's, I think, the general update for the studio.
Ooh. Yeah, we've got a lot going on, and as Steven said, we are bumping through everything, even with working from home. Obviously, we're still doing our game updates from home, so you see us in our house. I'm kind of sad, Jeff. We don't get to see, because we don't get to see the princess castle behind you anymore.
Oh, yeah, she hasn't been playing with it too much lately, so and it was taking up a lot of space in the living room, and it was kind of, had to spread our wings a little bit. But it'll probably come back maybe towards the winter when she gets more interested in it again. We'll see.
We got to get you like a little princess crown so you can. So moving on over to Jeff, speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about the design team and what you all have been working on. And we do have a lot of footage, so we have some cool particle effects updates that we're going to showcase, as well as a 17-minute long video. So we're going to show that off as well. And then we'll come back and we'll chat. So let's...
Yeah, it's been sort of, we hit our big milestone kind of back in May. And so the time that we spend after that is sort of catching up on other things, right? So we learned a lot of stuff from that test. And so when it comes to kind of figuring out where we want to go and what tools we need next in coming up to these next milestones that we're going to tackle. So a big thing we need are tools that allow us to scale towards the sort of massive game that we're trying to build right now. So the design team is kind of sitting down, defining all of those tools, kind of figuring out what we need to do to move forward and, do things like populate a huge, gigantic world. How do we do that quickly? How do we do that efficiently? And how do we do that interestingly? So we sit down, we write a bunch of definitions for engineering, and then they start building tools for us. And we're kind of getting towards the end of that process right now.
Right, and really what Jeff is talking about, there's obviously, as you begin to stand up different phases of a project moving into the first alpha, you have these rudimentary tools that help facilitate that process on the design front. But as you begin to work your way through implementation of certain core features or content, you start to better define what those tools will require because you've gone through that first process initially. So as we go back and we iterate, essentially, talking with engineering about, what additional features this tool requires, how we want this to interact with the content we're attempting to implement, that gets further refined.
Hey, man, until, thank you for the follow. Really do appreciate that.
Place with those tools, it really expedites the process and accelerates the ability for the designers to implement things into the world.
Do you want to give an example of a tool to kind of help people who maybe don't understand like the logistics of how that works?
Yeah, for sure. We populate our world with spawners, basically, and the spawners talk to the nodes, and they kind of know what the state of the world is, right? There's a lot of data on any given spawner, but the process of actually placing those spawners in the world and setting that data can take a long time. So we have a huge world, and we need to put a lot of monsters in the world.
Hey, Homo first.
A lot of different states being covered by what
how's it going?
Be, right? So what we discovered is we need sort of a world manager, something that can talk to all of these nodes, and we can tell that world manager how to handle those spawners rather than us individually setting up each and every single one. So that's kind of where we're going on the population side, something that can help us do things at scale across the entire world. Because if you keep in mind, right, a node can have any number of states, right? It could be level 3 and an elf node, or it could be level 6 and it could be a human node. And our world is populated differently based on those states. So if you could imagine, we would be populating the world almost like, I don't know what that ends up being math-wise, but like 50 different times. And so we need something to help us out that way, and that's the kind of tool that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. So I have some cool particle effects. I'm going to be swapping some cameras over, so it's going to take a moment before our cameras are all in the right spot. So bear with us. Oops, wrong one.
No such thing.
I see there's a lot of people in chat talking about a Frognar race. I guess that'd be kind of like a heavily frog-influenced Tolnar species. I don't know if that falls into the reptilian category, the frog attributes, or more of a. Oh, are we showing that video?
Yeah, it accidentally went up. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing. Because I originally had it in a different order, but you wanted to switch it, so I forgot to move it on the screen. So the first thing that you're seeing here is actually our blink ability, and we're also going to show the blink impact. We've been doing a lot of particle effect changes, and I'll let Jeff kind of talk about the design behind that.
Yeah, so I don't know, people who may be familiar with Unreal know that Unreal moved a little while ago from Cascade as a particle system solution to Niagara. And
I really like that.
Niagara is a really cool, really smart way of building particles. So we've been kind of transitioning that. Our FX guy, Jim Sanders, who is just amazing at what he does, has been playing with it and trying to integrate it into our pipelines. And we're pretty much set to go there. So all of our new effects will be authored in Niagara. We're also combining that with Houdini, so we're doing some cool stuff there too to get some really neat effects.
And oh, sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
No, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, just to give people context for this particular skill you're seeing effects for, this is one of the mage's kind of fundamental mobility skills, their teleport option. And just so you guys are aware, the way kind of we work with skills is you have skill points that you can allocate into active skills based off of your base archetype, right? And as you allocate skill points into those skills, you can give additional skill points.
And remember, this is all pre-alpha right now.
Features for that skill per se. So the initial active skill of teleport may only teleport you forward. But what you're seeing, I think from this perspective, it looks like he's teleporting backwards. That would be an additional feature that would be unlocked by allocating more skill points, which makes the teleport omnidirectional. So as you're essentially looking within as you're essentially keystroking in a particular direction and you activate the skill, your teleportability will teleport you, maintaining your direction in that area.
And
also, if you're wondering about the background here,
yeah, I was just going to say.
This is one of we call this our zoo level, and it's basically got all of the mobs populated here in sections according to level, so that we can jump in really easily and kind of tune things.
Yeah, it's kind of like their dev build area, so they can just do testing and stuff like that. Because people are like, bird person, what's that? And of course, he's clicking on the ability because he's kind of showing you like the, what do you call it?
The tooltip.
The tooltip. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So I'll show the impact of blink as well next. So this is
This is like a closer up view of it, so that's kind of the thing that's playing off of your mesh when you do that. Obviously, this is not a real character, it's just a fake character. And when Jim's setting up his ability, he usually uses these pawns so that it's a really quick iterative process. You don't want to necessarily worry about all the functionality and making it work with a pawn at first when you're first setting up those particle effects. So yeah.
Yeah, and the great thing about Unreal Engine, especially with their newest update to Niagara, is really the front end, the graphical fidelity that Unreal Engine offers is so beautiful. And it's great when you have a very capable and talented artist like Jim who can really take advantage of those systems and just pump out really great looking art. So kudos, Jim.
All right, and then switching over to Gift of Magi.
Yeah, so the Gift of Magi is absolutely. This is a skill, I believe, that the mage archetype has, which allows the mage essentially to grant a portion of their mana to a friendly character. So you're seeing, here this updated effects for that skill. And
Yeah, the
one
big
of
part
the
here is sort of the dynamic lighting that is
Yes.
happening on that effect. So that's kind of what he's trying to show off here, and then some of the volumetric fog.
Yeah.
But the way that it lights up kind of the whole area and is not just baked into it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say one of the directions that I've given Jim with regards to kind of the style of these effects is I'm a huge fan of volumetric fog elements incorporated into special effects for the characters and certain skills, and I really love the way that Jim implemented this this fog appearance as well as that lighting just to illuminate even further the depth of that gaseous element around. I think it's a really cool component of magic and arcane art from an immersion standpoint.
Yeah, he's working on a lot of cool like fog and things of that sort. That is really neat. The question that I had that was from chat was actually in regards to graphics and like different settings and what those particle effects will look like. I don't know if you all want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, as we enter into phases of optimization and as we're developing these types of effects, we're taking into consideration that, players will have a scalability setting that they can tune, which is appropriate for their rig or hardware that they're running, that kind of lessens the load on the client in order to render these types of effects or, these numbers of polys on the character or, essentially just having scalability options. So one of those in relation to the effects is, players can scale that down so it's not as intensive on their rig.
Huh.
All right. I'm going to switch over to the prismatic beam next.
Oh, yeah. Jeff, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so this is Prismatic Beam. This is one of those channeled skills, so it does more damage the longer you hold it down. It kind of roots you into place, but is a really high damage, high risk, high reward kind of ability. The effect here is really neat. Beams are not super easy to do, but the kind of flowy, watery almost feel of this ability I think Jim captured really well. It feels like a nice, awesome, powerful laser. I guess even better when you see some of the animations that are behind that. You really get a sense of like, oh, this is a very powerful thing. That's kind of, we always feel, and flow is really important to us always, and this really captures kind of that, like, you are channeling some serious magic here. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have
And
something
you
to
want
add,
to talk a little bit? You want to talk a little bit maybe about the difference between the tab targeting skills that we saw just previously, and how this one works from a line effect standpoint?
Yeah, so we kind of split the difference between the different kinds of abilities that we have. We want to give people a lot of different opportunities to play the game the way they want to. So we have some abilities that are tab targets, some abilities that are dynamic, and then some abilities that are like purely action based. This is kind of falls into that latter category where, this beam is going to go wherever you are pointing your camera. So you need to be on target. Otherwise, you can miss. It's not really related to the accuracy of your character's stats. It's more the accuracy of your mouse.
On this, they are
So you
doing
wanna make
a
sure that you
hybrid
get
system,
opportunities to kind of, play that
where
risk
you
reward
can
game based
choose
on how you wanna play it.
75% of
And
your
is this effect an area of
skills
effect, or does it stop impact on
be
impact
action,
and,
or
deals
75% of your
damage to that initial
skills
target
be
and doesn't
tab
pass it?
target, and
Right
it'll
now, I think
switch.
it's
It'll
both.
be
As you scale it up,
75%
I think the
action,
first stage of it
25%
stops
tab
at
target,
whoever you
or
target, and then the
75%
final
tab
stage
target,
passes
25%
through and gets
action.
everything in the code.
Nice.
Um,
So that's more about that, injecting additional skill points into individual skills
Yep.
to unlock additional
So
features
it
for
depends on
So
what
the
play
initial
style you
one will
want, and you're
stop
trying
on
to
on
find
collision
a
impact,
great
and then later
middle
stage
ground
go
on
through. That's
both,
cool.
Correct.
Yeah.
as far
And
as
obviously, with a lot of testing will be
speed and stuff
maintain
goes.
alter abilities, so keep that in mind
Oh, for
as
sure,
we're moving
yeah.
forward for sure.
Yeah, this is like the first iteration of this ability for the mage, so it's going to go through a lot of different changes.
Yeah. So if we're ready to move on to the next one.
Yeah.
It depends on the class.
one
They're
is
doing a lot,
We're
a
definitely
lot
gonna
of
go
support
over
classes and
Yeah,
stuff
we're
like
definitely
that.
gonna go over time.
Oh my God.
I haven't
even
heard
have the
about
Q&A
any
this time,
like
we're still
really
gonna
big
go.
like healing waves and
Uh,
stuff
We did an
yet.
hour and a half AMA.
But once
Yeah.
again, this is very, very early. This
So
isn't even
our next
Alpha
one is
1
our
right
level
yet.
up
So
effect. Now, this is kind of a really important thing with, games because I think they can be really iconic and memorable. So do note that this is still in stages, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I mean, one of the cool abilities that we all love seeing, and it gives us a major dopamine response, is when our character levels up, especially when you're higher level. This is the first iteration on the level up effects. One of the things I loved, about when I leveled in Lineage 2 was it had this like God ray comes down over your character and expands, and little leaves, like little golden light leaves, fall out of the sky, and it's this cool event. So we wanted to try to hit that a little bit. There's going to be further iterations, but this is the first pass, and I really like the direction Jim's going.
Yeah, I just
one
wanted
thing
to set
Jim does really
expectations.
good is like the radiance effect. Like he uses colors in really interesting ways. And I love what he's able to bring out in some of these effects. They're not just simple unicolor kind of things. There's the full spectrum of the rainbow in this effect.
Yeah.
All right.
We
Are
did
we
talk
ready?
about using Phoenix Wings for this, so.
Oh, Phoenix
I
Wings
think we
would be
had
really
that in it
cool.
super long ago, actually.
We
I think
did.
at one of the PAX events.
Like little wings on the back of you
Yeah.
whenever you. Oh, that'd be cool. But yeah, we still are obviously going through that. There will be sound effects and things of that sort as well that will be hopefully iconic to you all. That is our goal. So when you level up, you're like, yeah, that's awesome. So without further ado, I kind of want to preface things before we move into the next thing, which is going to be
I am
our,
completely hyped up
17-minute
for the
video.
Rogue.
We want to
they're
talk a little
doing-
bit about gathering and harvesting, and obviously we'll talk
They're doing a little
about it
bit
after,
extra
and I'll
stuff
grab some questions from chat,
world-wise
so
with
definitely get your
rogues.
questions in.
Where in dungeons they can actually use passive skills within the rogue tree to find hidden rooms and hidden treasure in dungeons, and only rogues will be able to find those.
When did we record this? Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
So they're doing a lot of
All blurring together.
non-combat
Contextualizing this
rogue
is basically,
fantasies
we wanted to
type
show
stuff,
off two
which I
things.
really-
One, the
really
very
love.
early stages of gathering, and
I
really the way it
assume they are.
works, and
If
we're
they're
gonna go
going
into a
that
little
deep
bit
in the
more depth
rogue,
afterwards.
I assume they're going
The
to put
gathering
that
is
same
one-
care into other
one
classes
branch
as well.
of
It
the
reminds me
artisanship
of
tree. There's three primary
Dragon
branches,
Age, the
gathering,
newest Dragon
processing,
Age,
and
not the one that's about to
crafting.
come
And those
out,
are
but
meant to have
the last
interdependencies
Dragon
within
Age.
one another. But essentially, what we show today is kind of
Oh yeah,
there's tool
definitely.
prerequisites. When it
Again,
comes
that
to
reminds me
accessing
completely
certain
of the
resources
last
in the world as a
Dragon Age
gatherer.
game.
Gatherers will have the abilities to create their tools, but those tools will have only a certain number of usage before you need to recreate that tool. And essentially, as you become
I do
more
know that
proficient within the
summoners,
gathering branch
summon
of the artisanship
pets
tree,
are
and
not
your tool making
timed.
becomes
They
better,
only disappear
you
when their
begin
health
to
is gone.
Increase the amount of usages that are available, and then those the usages that are under the tool prerequisite will eventually come to the point where you'll have these master tool sets that'll grant you access to the highest possible gatherables in the world.
If I
And one other
remember
thing to note
right,
about
as far as
gatherables
class
is
combination
there's
goes,
both
there's
a
64
combination
different class
of,
combinations.
I guess there's three types of gatherables. There's the ones that a lot of us are used to, which is the single use resource out in the world. You gather it, it goes away for a period of time, and then it comes back later or randomly spawns elsewhere in the region. The second is going to be these large static
Very
veins that
interesting. I
exist,
love
which will
this,
attract
man.
lots of people, and they'll have a finite number of gathering that's possible until that vein is depleted.
The classic
and then it
Trinity,
will-
tank,
will go
DPS
out,
healer.
and respawn somewhere else in the world. And then the last type of gatherable is a mobile group gatherable kind of thing. So these are like herds of animals that might be out there in the world, and they may move a little bit. So it's like a moving resource, so to speak. Maybe exists on a spline and just kind of goes around the world. So you're only going to see in this video
Yes.
the very basic type of gathering
I also like
mechanic,
the
which
fact
is
that
the
your
first type
your
that you can gather. And then additionally, we
your
did receive a lot
first
of
class
questions
choice
about the
is not
size of the
switchable,
world.
but your second
and,
is.
You know, one thing
So-
that I personally love about an MMO is having this grand, magnificent type of architecture that exists. So we ran you through one of the dungeons.
Yeah,
that I
it'll
did
take,
with Margaret and Sarah. By the way, this is Margaret,
your
Sarah, and
second
myself
class
doing
bottom,
this little video.
which I
I
don't
did
remember.
it flying above the dungeon,
Yes,
so that you can just
yes.
get an understanding of the scope. I know you had seen likely this
Yep,
dungeon in
you'll
previous
you'll
4K
keep
video.
the
but it was
tank
on foot,
primary,
so I really
but you
wanted
can
to show off.
there'll
being
be
up
something
in
you
the
have
air
to do
and
to
just
be able
kind
to
of seeing this
switch
grand
to
size
make it
dungeon.
like you're not just like
And
switching
this is an
every
early
week and
dungeon
stuff.
too. It was level 10 dungeon.
Yeah, and we have shown
But,
this dungeon
yes,
before. I
you can switch
believe,
between
so you might have seen
secondaries.
footage of some of it before, but are you ready to pass it over to the video?
We're ready.
All right.
Let's go.
We'll see y'all in 17 minutes.
Yes.
All right, now everybody, now slide to the left, slide to the right.
Oh, we're
Take it back now, y'all.
we're recording, by the way.
What? Oh.
Yeah, no, that was good though. I like that. So no, we're good. Hey guys, we're here live. Well, actually, we're not live. This is pre-recorded.
Yes.
But-
We're live right now.
We're live,
yes,
right? Yeah.
because
We're
it's
live,
open
we're
world
doing it all
PvP.
in one flow, I guess.
Yeah, that's
No
true.
editing.
This is one flow.
And PvP stuff is going to be
right
a
now. You're on
definite
stream
thing.
with us, and we wanted to pre-record this, kind of show off some of the
Yeah, the corrupted system and how they can drop items and everything.
and maybe I don't know, take a look a little bit around the world. Those of you guys who are tuning in, for
And
the
as
first
far
time,
as,
this is a
like,
pre-alpha client, this is essentially the Alpha 1 client. that's getting
BDO, they
tested.
definitely took
You know,
like
bugs are getting
BDO's
worked out
like
and whatnot.
economy system and
so-
turned it all the way up to 11.
We should maybe.
Thanks for the
suggest we
follow,
gather
Zaya,
some
man.
things. Did you guys get tools?
Thank you,
and whatnot?
man.
Yeah, I got some tools.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna walk. You guys can set your walk mode to by pressing period if you want. And there we go. Oh wait. Oh no.
I don't think I can do it on my
Oh yeah.
On
you
the
can't.
horse, it's not.
Sad.
horse.
That's okay. We can run around.
The horse is really awesome, though. We were
Oh,
having
yeah,
a lot of
for
fun.
sure.
Justin and I were like doing little dance.
I also appreciate
I
the
like
fact that
But we're gonna, let's
the
look for some,
majority
like,
of dungeons and raids are
some
open
trees.
world dungeons and
Any
raids.
trees
They
over
are
here?
not
You guys see any
instanced.
trees that we can chop
I
down.
think there's one down over here.
So to give you guys an idea, out in the world, you know, you're going to have raw resources. Oh, here we go. You're gonna have raw resources that essentially you can, if you have the tools available for
Wanna go
the.
flag toast?
Oh yeah, here I'll grab it. Let me see. There we go. Essentially, you have the tools for these raw resources out in the world. You're going to.
Oh, that timber animation,
just
man.
You're short. You like fit right underneath it.
Yeah, I just was safely underneath the log.
You're going to essentially be able to harvest different.
The
raw
node system in
resources
this
out the
game
world
is
based off
crazy,
of
man.
The, tools
I
that you
love
have
it.
available to you, and higher quality resources are going to require higher quality tools as well. It's also important to note that you know, many of the raw gatherables out in the world have an opportunity
Casey,
to,
how's it going, man?
Essentially.
And yeah, Dread Killer,
to
that
grant
killed
you,
BDO for me.
rare resources,
I love the combat. Combat in BDO is
based off
still
of
like
the
my
skill
top
level you
combat
have
in
with,
MMOs.
within the gathering tree. And you know, that's always nice to have. I think I remember, you know, playing a little bit of Star Wars Galaxies, and I really loved how they did their crafting system. I thought it was very well done. So, oh, let's kill this dude.
There's a kitty on me.
Oh no.
Oh no, protect the door.
Dude, I don't know why it only. There we are. Look at that. That looks so much better.
There you go. We protected you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look at that.
Oh, there's like a brawler over here. Maybe I should.
Oh yeah, it's getting kind of late here. It's
pull.
only like
Where's my
8
little
p.m.
pull
over
skill?
here.
Don't I have a pull skill?
Yeah, you should.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we'll end up doing the tabletop
Travel?
stuff. We'll see.
No.
I always move them around my hotkeys, so I don't actually know where it is.
Oh,
Like,
it
right
is
before.
Hook shot.
I don't like the order.
Oh, that guy got wrecked.
Yeah, he's looking a
Yeah.
little worse for wear.
Shouldn't be trying to steal stuff from people.
No.
He looks like he's permanently fist pumping in death.
And try to get this tree. There we go. There's like a dude standing right in front of it though. Oh, there's two of them.
Yeah,
Oh no, there's three of them. Here, the tree will kill them. Oh, darn it.
I like the gathering in here. I haven't gotten to see that yet. Really liking that.
There we go.
Ghost blinding us with her
Nice.
beam.
I know, right?
Do note that like the particle effects are still in the works.
Oh yeah, everything. Yeah,
Are you
for-
blinded by my holy light?
And even with
Just so you guys
You are
know,
too divine for
with
us.
even the
art
particle
is,
effects,
art
even
is
with it being
always
before
going through
Alpha
different
1 right
iterations
now,
and different
looks really, really
passes.
good.
I personally think it looks great for pre-alpha, but
Yes.
it'll definitely get some love.
The
These are kind of trash mobs. and
the
we're all level
fighting
10, so
animation
we're much
also
higher
looks
than
pretty
them.
well.
Oh, we're in a party! Yay!
We're not in a party. I figured we should all be friends.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
So I can see your health and heal you.
Let's see if we can find any more. Or you know what? Actually, there's like a little dungeon here, isn't it?
If I remember right,
There's
there's
a dungeon.
8 races
you
as
know,
well.
If we want to,
I think we've shown this one before.
how we
And I
show this
mean,
one?
there's
Well,
2
let's
variations
go
of
through
each
again
race.
and just kind of show off the size of the dungeon. Let's fly this time
Yeah.
because I think
Oh, okay, cool.
previously
It's
we
either
kinda
8 or
ran
10, I
through
can't
it.
remember.
Pretty bear. I don't want to kill this bear though.
Oh,
It
yeah?
looks too cool.
No, let's not kill it. I don't. That's. It seems like he's just having a nice time. Oh wait. My bad.
Oh no.
That was a scorpion
I'm a
grapple hook.
conscientious
People.
objector to this. I'm just gonna sit here and
Just
watch.
watch.
Oh,
That
there's a
was
lot
a
of
get
herbs
over
and
here
stuff
moment.
over here. So
Yeah,
you know,
right.
in
Oh yeah, let's pick them.
as you go out and gather, right, there's going to be obviously various tiers of gatherables that are out in the world. And, you know, you're going to have the more common ones that are acting as kind of base gatherables, base resources that kind of support a tiered structure as you process things upwards. And then you're going to have more rare ones. And these are all kind of like one-off gatherables that you're kind of seeing here, but there are large vein resources essentially, which you know, have multiple applications of the gathering process. So like you may have a large mine of iron, you know, ore, and it can attract a lot of people over time to come and deplete it first, and then once it gets depleted, it'll spawn elsewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think this is like dungeon area.
As far as the tools go, will people be able to like customize their tools and have like cool different looking ones?
Yeah, so tools are going to exist in a similar fashion to the tiered resources that it's applicable towards. You can't really
Totally agree,
customize
Dread
a
Killer.
particular tool, you know, to look different. However, based off of the quality of your tool making, you're going to be able to have more uses out of these tools. Now, tools will have to be continually replaced as you are using the tools to gather resources. You'll have to replace them, obviously. All right, yeah, let's we definitely can't kill the content in there, but let's fly through, maybe.
This one's not a flying mount.
Really?
Oh yeah, I don't think it is.
It is not.
The one that's in our inventories.
That's weird.
I thought it was though.
Are you guys GMs?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, because we
Yep.
leveled up and stuff.
That's super weird. That you guys can't fly. Maybe you don't have the royal status
we
on.
clipped our wings.
Oh, I don't think you guys have the royal status for some reason.
Rude.
That's weird. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna fly through. You guys can try to like run maybe.
Yeah, we'll see who can live.
Hit
Yeah.
C. Maggie, hit C.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
Z should
not
work.
right.
There you go. Okay, perfect. Toast must have made you a
C and X
royal.
is up and down.
So just to
It's
kind of
hard
like give you
content,
guys an
man.
idea of the this dungeon and give you guys context for the size literally of like the world around you, right? I mean, this is a pretty massive, sprawling dungeon, and this is one of the first like level 10 area dungeons that you can go through. The world is intending to be, you know, massive, really big, and because of that, you know, a lot of the corresponding like points of interest and stuff, we want to reflect that size in the environments that you're seeing, the dungeons that you're fighting in. And, you know, you see here it's pretty standard. Multiple rooms that are kind of present, different hunting areas that players can group in and stuff. And there is going to be that dynamic where, you know, rooms are going to be contested because some rooms are better than others, and that's just how the dungeon works, right? I think that.
And I know you've answered this before, but
Yeah.
I'm sure folks who are kind of new are going to ask, when it comes to contested, how does that work exactly?
Well, essentially, like, let's say, you know, you're in your
I wouldn't
guild
say
and,
scuffed.
You know, you're in your party and you roll up on like let's say me and Jeff were in our little party and we see you and Sarah here with your group, and you have a room that has the best maybe farm rate or whatever.
You ain't winning it. Toast and I gonna.
Oh yeah.
They're also
Lockdown.
going through
We got
and
this.
passing
Well,
like
what we
all
would
of
do
the
is
monsters
we'd roll
and
up
stuff.
and we'd politely say, hey, how you doing? How long you guys? Whoops. I accidentally pulled up my NVIDIA thing. We would say, hey, you guys doing? How long you gonna be here for? And if you're just like, it's our room,
Totally
we'll never
agree
have
with you
it,
there,
then we
Gigi.
might have to throw down some fisticuffs and maybe declare like a guild war or flag on you or something that might contest your ease of gameplay within that room. Yeah, that's pretty much
Totally
how it would
agree
work,
there.
I would say. Like, those are some of my favorite experiences I had, like in Lineage and other, PVX games where PVE is very important, but that PVE has a gosh darn it. I keep trying to fly with my mount and pulling up my NVIDIA control screen. Oh well. Here,
Oh,
jumped
by
out.
the way, Dread Killer.
But yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
flying is only going to be
that's
allowed
just
for
kind
6
of
to
the
10
dungeon.
for up to 10
Give you guys a
people
little-
in
I
a
meant more so
per
like the
server.
contestedness of,
It is
like,
an
when you're
extremely
tagging
rare
mobs,
thing
stuff
you
like
have
Oh, I see,
to
got it,
I get that part though.
grind
I've
for.
had plenty of games where you find your little place and you like farming for item drops and things of that sort.
Yeah.
Flying.
It's really fun.
For like tagging mobs and stuff, there is a
Yeah.
a loot condition that's determined by DPS done. So if it comes down to like two groups that are trying to fight in the same area, it's really going to be.
You're talking about 95 to 98%
an
of the
active, like,
population
thing
will
who's
never
gonna
have flying mounts.
Give the most damage output, I would say.
And that is purposeful.
Now, obviously, when you
The
tag a
group
creature,
that tags first, right?
yeah,
gets
they get a little
bit of
bonus, right? They get a little bit of bonus on that front. And that's
As
for, like,
been
the looting
ti-
rights. The
no.
experience of a monster
Streamers
will
are
be,
are,
divided to the groups based
not
off of the
guaranteed to get 'em.
percentage of damage done. So if you do 50% of the damage, regardless of the looting rights,
Not at
which
all.
is the tag component, regardless of the looting rights, the damage done will be equitable in percentage split of experience. So if it's 10,000 experience to kill a monster, and you do 40% of the damage with your group will get 4,000 experience. That's divisible by the group members. So yeah, just give you guys a little heads up. So hope you guys.
I'm just sitting here looking at the water and admiring how it reflects.
And there's several different ways to be
the
married,
lighting? Yeah,
Oh,
look at
depending on the
that.
node.
It's gorgeous in here.
Science nodes is popularity contest.
Yeah,
Military
I see
nodes
that in
is
that little
a
ground area.
And the
Getting
little water
almost
spot
like
here.
battle royale.
Let me see. Hold on.
No, fly mount is not a vote based thing. To be mayor is depends on the node.
See if I can run up here.
The different node
let's go back
to be
to the-
mayor of a
there we go.
node or a
Lava area.
city
I love the
depends
lava
on the
stuff.
node that it is.
Yeah. You remember when the
Ooh, the
lava
heat
was
wave.
gone?
And the metropolis is the last level of a node,
No, I'm gonna run through this.
which
run
is
past this dude. Let's sprint.
gonna take months to get.
We had a bug where all the lava turned into like water or something
Months.
like that. It looks so weird.
Oh yeah, that was definitely crazy.
Months
I'm
and
just
months.
Gonna run through this dungeon, run back, just give you guys the ground view of the size. That's here.
The other thing I like is how
What are
cities
some of the
will
favorite
be
dungeons you guys have ever played?
will take-
when you played in your MMOs.
There's too
Ooh.
many.
hey Red Maniac.
I
think
really
we
Um,
like.
Look over.
Cities will take
I like,
on the
like,
cosmetic
Curzon
of the
series
race
in WoW,
who
just like Return to
contributes the
Curzon or
most
Upper Curzon,
experience
just
to
'cause
that
there's such
node.
weird layouts and funky things where you
Oh,
like
Each
yeah.
go through
level.
portals and sizes change.
Yeah.
I think my most memorable ones are probably like Ashwin's Call and EverQuest because it's so dangerous to get into the good farming spots. So it takes a while to get in there and like you have to like buff up and all this stuff. And then once you get in there, like just holding it is, intense.
Yeah.
I think to me, I love those dungeon crawls where it's like you don't want to die because getting back there is horrible.
Absolutely. I
Not
remember
that
in
it's horrible, but it's just an intense.
Look at them. Look at them.
Yeah,
jumping.
man. Thank you for the subscription.
Yeah. My favorite dungeons, probably I would say Antheros' Lair. in Lineage 2.
Oh, dude, guys,
yeah.
thank you
Area.
for the
I had
subscription,
some
guys.
Long grinding sessions. Long
I
grinding
promise
sessions in that area.
promise you guys soon.
Lineage was a grindy game. And
we will
if
have
you
badges
had
and
a good
stuff.
group in that
I'm
arc,
getting
you're
them
making the
made
best
literally
experience
as we
possible.
speak.
But, you know,
So in
we
the
always
next
had groups
couple
run in and
couple weeks and
try to
everything, you guys
pay
should
you
have
or,
badges and everything.
try to take that spot, and it was just fun
Yeah.
PvP too.
Lineage 2 kind of gave me a lot of.
Yeah, I
similar
try,
vibes
and usually I
to,
have a better camera
my
setup than
old
this right now. I don't know why
grinds
my
as well.
Canon
Oh, yeah.
M200 is
Another
not
fun
recognizing
one,
my computer at the moment,
that
even though I
used
even
to
after I restarted.
enjoy, in Lineage was the Four Sepulchers. But if you were like a hero,
Ooh, man, I greatly
you
appreciate
could
that.
port down into the Four
Really do.
Sepulcher area, so you didn't have to like go through the.
I believe you
like,
guys are
hour-long
number
run
5
it
and
took
number
to get
6 for
there.
me.
And I definitely enjoyed. I was a little bit of a griefer because I would go down there and we would always be at war with this one guild, and I would oh, you're gonna die.
Oh, dude.
And I would try to
If I
attack
didn't
the
have
team
like
as one
confidence
person,
in this
just,
game
like,
because I've
jump
gotten to
in.
play a little bit of it,
So I would just like
I
jump
won't
I
in.
wouldn't be even like saying, "Hey,
No.
I'm doing new stuff on this."
Aw, you leashed it
I believe in
back.
this MMO enough to where I'm like, when something new comes out,
Oh, yeah.
this is what I
Look
do.
Look at how many bears there are here.
And this is like my
Yeah,
first
but
time
that's why
listening,
Kind of only went out to us.
Oh, there's a lot of
watching
bears
and
here. Let me see
listening
if we
to
can run
this.
in this here.
I did do on their AMA.
Oh yeah, this is another thing that's cool is like the world bosses,
Their AMA I did a full
The
like
world
commentary
bosses,
on all their questions and stuff like that.
having them
What
get,
my
you know,
opinions on them
epic-
were and everything.
Epic boss rooms, I love that too, and like playing with the
Look at
environmental
that.
hazards and stuff. That's possible.
Yeah, I like that. That reminds me. I didn't really think DDO had dungeons where it was like this, epic thing where you had to like crawl through it and hold on to it or anything like that. But it did have some really interesting mechanics as far as like,
yes.
traps and stuff like that I think was really cool, and puzzles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping
I do
puzzles?
love jump
Maggie, do you
puzzles.
love jumping puzzles?
I hate. I hate jumping puzzles. I'm so
We need round 2.
no.
Yeah. We
Where's
need
our
some-
dragon
where's
friend?
the jumping puzzle? Oh, you got to be dismounted. Oh, there
got
he
the
is.
dragon.
Aha!
It's waiting for us to go through, I think.
But yeah, all right, we're gonna see you back on stream. Hope you guys enjoyed a little look inside the game right now. I know it's been a while since we showed some footage, about a month, but little talk on Gathering. We'll talk a little bit more on stream, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
That
All right,
dragon
now
was
everybody
good.
now slap.
All right. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video. We'll have it kind of playing in the background here while we chat a bit. I grabbed a bunch of questions from chat. There's one person in particular, you're spamming. I'm still going to ask your question, but no need to spam. I was snagging all the questions for y'all. The first thing I do want to preface is, for those of you who are new, because I saw some people commenting about flying is not going to be like that. We're not all just going to be able to fly. I don't know if you guys want to talk a little bit more about that. Obviously, we've answered this many, many times.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
we got tons of
dragon
new people.
was
Yeah, we got a lot of new people.
badass.
So just to be clear, flying is very, very, very restricted. It's a very powerful, obviously, achievement.
Oh, here they go
but
talk
it's
about
restricted
flying.
to the leaders of guilds that own one of the 5 castles in the world, as well as the mayors of metropolis stage nodes, which there can only ever be 5 at a time. And then there are rare drops that occur from legendary world bosses that are essentially eggs that players, there's a lifetime on that egg and then a lifetime on the mount.
I know
And
this feels.
yeah.
I'm just-
and then,
Sorry, it's a terrible joke.
and then there's essentially you can raise that up to increase the lifetime per se, but it's limited. So there really will only ever be maybe at a time, between 10 to 15 players that are going to have access to flying mounts, but they will be significant mounts. They'll have abilities that are very strong. All mounts will have certain types of abilities, and the royal mounts will have the most effective abilities, especially when it comes to PvP or AoE type effects.
And you won't be able to run through like we did. We obviously have like GM hacks and stuff like that, but you shouldn't be able to like just run through the entire dungeon and skip everything necessarily.
Yeah, that was
Trying to find a guild
legit
right
dungeon
now.
Experience. It was more just showing you guys what's
Yes.
going on in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Also, Steven, you just left me there when I like pulled just that one mob for you.
Oh yeah,
perfectly. I
completely
killed
agree.
perfectly.
Which is why I'm getting.
Oh yeah,
like,
it wasn't
straight into
about
this.
the lava bear life.
No, they
with
hit
only
hard.
2 people. Like,
Scared.
It's a
I'll
tough
put
one.
some GM armor on.
You
maybe.
could tell that Steven's used to being the mage because I'm used to being the tank, so I'm used to like pulling like little mobs like that all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I do have a lot of questions. I don't know if you want to go into those first or if you'd rather just kind of like talk about crafting, because I do want to talk about harvesting and gather bowls and crafting a little bit. I know you talked about it as a like contextual, but maybe going into more depth. I don't know which one you want to do
Yeah.
first, questions or
We can do
that.
some questions. Just keep in mind that obviously as we test, some of these systems are going to get iterated on.
I don't think they've actually
And
put
then
a number on it
additionally,
yet,
I know we're
but
gonna
they're going
release
to
a
be
blog
like
later on that goes into
100
some
plus
significant
people
detail.
sieges and
so
stuff.
it might be smart to
So
save some of the
guilds are
really
probably gonna be pretty
detail-oriented
big.
questions for the blog when that comes out. But yeah, we can do some questions.
All right, let me grab these questions.
Do you think
and then we
sieges
can
on cities
talk
are
about
going to
other
be
stuff that's not covered here.
hundreds of players?
So Oliver. I don't know. I'm probably going to say all your names wrong, so sorry. Say I don't harvest or gather for a couple of levels. Would I then fall back or fall behind in skill and not be able... Oh, stop. I can't read because your name keeps covering stuff.
Sorry.
And not
Forgot,
be
we're
able to
sharing.
gather certain resources in a higher level area?
Yeah, so the advancement and progression that exists within the artisanship path does not correlate to that of your adventuring class. So you could choose not to touch gathering at all until you max your adventuring class level out, and then you can go back, and that's going to be completely removed from those two things. You can
Hey,
go
and
back
thanks
and you can
everyone
start
for coming
gathering,
in, guys.
Lower end tier type gatherables and start building up that profession. Start building up that branch of the artisanship tree. And as you build it up, you begin to get access to certain professions that you can then start essentially utilizing to get additional experience there, which unlocks more capabilities.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind that the way that we're designing these zones is it's not a progressive like. This is a level 10 zone. This is a level 20 zone. This is a level 30 zone.
So
That's
yeah,
not how
you're right.
the game
300 is the
designed.
cap. I was looking over
Every
at the
level
wiki.
will represent and have some content for just about any level person, and that goes with resources too, right?
And then you have
Resources are
guild
going to be
alliances,
available
which
in
is just
places where they make
alliances
sense,
of guilds,
not
which
necessarily
makes that even
based
bigger.
on we're going to put all the iron in the level 10 zone and all the mithril in the level 20 zone. That's not how it's going to be.
So what am I most
It'll be,
excited about?
More sort of
Regionalized.
realistic,
Crap.
regionalized, and a little bit more. It'll be less gamey and more natural, I guess, more organic.
I
And the
am
idea
so
there
excited
is
for the
to,
node system.
Essentially,
I think
provide
that whole system combined with the
system-generated
creation of
stresses based off
cities
of those
to
placements, so that regions and localities have to
how
essentially utilize
nodes
the
affect
trade
the
systems
economy,
and the caravan systems to move goods around, so that players have access to their local
everything.
warehouses for the materials and or
I am
gatherables.
so
in order
excited
to either
that I
process
can
them
one
or
week
use them in
be
crafting
like
stations that come
focused
online
on
as nodes
PvP and
advance.
doing that stuff,
So there's a
and then the next
significant,
week I could be a master
importance
of
on the
be like I'm
location
working on
of
my
these
crafting
goods
all
and
this
how
week.
they relate
I
to the
am
location
just
of
a merchant
crafting
this
centers
week.
as well.
Yeah,
That
the economy
is
super
amazing
important
to
us.
me.
We want
That's
sort
what
of
I
a
like.
living economy, which means that there is a sense of supply and demand, right? Some regions
And the
will
fact with
be-
the node
will
system
have
and
a
how
lot
it
of a
is
certain type
that
of
each
resources, and they
server
won't
can
have
be
other types of
completely
resources.
different from each
And it
other
really
as far
up
as
to
city
players to sort of
layout goes
take
and where
advantage
cities
of those,
are on the
those
map.
different supply and demand curves and try to
That's
maximize the amount of money
So
they
much
can put in.
repayability
Yeah, we can
there
probably take
for
one
me.
more
It's
question, Margaret, just
unbelievable.
because I know we have a lot of art stuff to show as well, and we're already at the hour mark. I
Oh
think.
my gosh.
Okay, true. I did pull like 20 questions, so that's probably why they can see how many questions. Okay, so I'll just ask this one because it actually pertains to what you're just talking about, which was selling stuff.
There's like
Spectrum7X asked,
I believe a 2 to
about
5
player
day
sales and
delay
auctions. Will
for
there
when
be
you
any
declare
way
a
for
siege and
players
when
to
it will
search
happen.
for items before they travel
And
to a
it
specific
sieges will
node,
only happen
or will
at
players be
peak
restricted
server
to
times.
to shouting advertisements in node towns? My perspective comes from Star Wars Galaxies and EVE Online. Both games.
Oh
had
yeah, all
mechanisms
the
for
interlocking
discovering that
pieces
an
and everything
item
like
sold
that
at a
has
location
it's
prior to
amazing to
traveling there,
me.
so you don't waste your time.
And this is
Sure.
pre-alpha.
So,
I'm like,
real quick
what-
on that front,
how
there's
the fuck
a
are you
lot
guys
of
doing this?
components to that
Pre-alpha.
question. It touches a lot of different things. But on the auction house front, economic nodes will have access to auction house that are local to those nodes. And as a node progresses and begins to vassal other nodes, if the parent node is economic, it will have the ability to connect with those vassal nodes that are under its zone of influence.
So you won't
and
ever,
it
like,
will be able
be in, like-
to share the auction house in that regard, especially at the Metropolis stage. Additionally, from a player stall or shop
Yeah,
standpoint,
Dread Killer, I hear you there.
if you're in an economic node, there will be certificates that you can purchase from the economic node main building that will provide the license, essentially the
yes,
business
the whole
license,
breeding
to,
thing with
to sit
mounts
down
is
and
an
put up a
amazing
player
thing that I
owned shop wherever you're
I'm
at in the world.
excited
You
to
have
wait
to have
to
the
see how
license
that
that you
goes.
purchase from the economic nodes. And then additionally,
That's how you can
each
actually
node
breed
has the
different mounts.
availability to either build a market, or economic nodes, or by default have player-owned stalls or rented stalls. Sorry, these stalls you can put in either services for recipes that you have access to.
I
that
really,
players
with
can
my
come
rogue,
interface
I
with
want to
and
be like
utilize, and
in
you
a
can charge
mercenary
fee for it.
guild
Or you
and
can
do a
list
whole
items
bunch
for
of
sale
like the
within the
caravan
stall.
PvP
Now,
stuff.
all of those stalls and the auction house's listings are capable of being observed so that you know where to go to get certain things on a community board, essentially, where you can access the town center's community board, and it will show you the location and items that you can search through, and then you'll have to travel to that location if you don't have access to either an integrated auction house hub or the stalls not present in that location.
Yeah, we actually have an article about economic nodes. A lot of the stuff that Stephen talked about is in there, and it even goes into more detail. So if you want to go check that out, it's on our news page, ashesofcreation.com/news. You can find it through the node series, which is called Economic
What I
Nodes, so you should
heard
be
is
able to find
not
it easily.
that.
I know we still have more in that series that are coming along, but
It's
design is still
how
finalizing,
monsters
the
are
military
tagged.
one and
It's
the divine
not
one, so
only like a
we haven't,
tag
put
system,
those out yet,
but
so we
also
wanna make
depends
sure
on
that
how
they're
much DPS
pretty
you
much
do
in a, like, more
if you
finalized
actually
state
get
before we, like,
experience
share
from that
information
monster.
with you all.
If
So
you're
with
going
that,
against
we know we
like
have a lot of
one
questions.
team
I
versus
just want to
another
preface
team.
that normally we do a Q&A segment on our live stream. Obviously this time we're not, because we did an AMAA for a really long time. If you want to check that out, it's on our YouTube,
Yeah,
youtube.com/ashesofcreation.
remember it's a tag
but
and
we will
damage
be doing
system. If
another
you
Q&A
tag
for our
it
next one,
and
so
you're
stay
part of
tuned
that
for
team that tag it,
and
you have
we'll let you guys know in advance. We usually announce that like a week in advance before our live stream.
I think
so
you have
time to plug
a
in your
increased amount of
question, and then,
DPS you
Toast,
can do
who's
to it.
amazing, our lovely community manager, she'll put together the
Or
ones
less
that have-
DPS you have to do to get the
already
full
been answered
experience
and
of
answer
it.
those for you, and the ones that haven't
Or
we'll
be
put
part of
into
that
our
team
live
that
stream
does
for
that.
So stay tuned for that. So without further ado, we're going to move on to environment art.
So make sure you hit it and hit it a lot.
The first thing we have here is the wonderful particle effects. This is another
Oh,
wonderful
dude.
thing from
Oh,
Jim.
what?
We have shown some of the waterfalls in the past, but I'll let Stephen kind of talk a little bit about this. They're so
Yeah, I think just part of the
Look at that
process that goes
waterfall.
into iteration over the art assets that
Bro,
enter the
you see
game.
that water?
You know, we had
That
some
water
old
looked good,
waterfalls that
man.
didn't necessarily
That
live up
water
to
looked
snuff and how
good.
the world was progressing. So Jim took a pass on those, and as you can see, you know,
man.
not only do the effects
I'm
look
wet
great, but
over
the
here.
updated water shader also, you know, is starting to look really good. These will continue to go through iterations as we get closer to launch.
Damn, look at that
but as you
water.
can see already in this pre-alpha state, you know, I think this looks great.
That
They
looked
look
good.
very natural. They
Oh
look
my
very
god, Drinker,
immersive.
the fact that you
It's
actually
also
got
great
that,
'cause they're way
because
more
I watch
performant
Angry
than the old
Joe
ones were,
like with a
way
passion.
more, and they look about
That's
as
funny.
much better, which is
I'm
great.
actually gonna clip
It's,
that.
yeah, it's
I
always
might send
great
that to him.
when you gain on the performance side and on the visual side.
at
You're
that.
like, oh wait,
Look at that water. That
that's
looked
not
good.
supposed to be the case, but yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks wonderful. People are saying this is their yoga spot. We got some yogis out there. I like it. And our next
Yeah, man,
one
I get it up.
is going to be the seaside environment assets that Mia made.
I love the
so pretty.
I love when I do the stream because I never have time to review the assets prior. And so this is all just like, oh, okay, yes.
You probably see it when you're running around in the world, but like
like
you don't
great.
realize like all the
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna-
Mia
we're
is
gonna
a,
move back
is
over
a
here for
wonderful
this.
artist. She is so talented and experienced, and I mean, you can just see the detail and you know the tender love and care
at
that
that,
goes
man.
into creating these environment assets. You know, really to make the world look like a beautiful place. I mean, it's immersion's such an important component in
Hey,
our
hey.
gameplay experience.
Women
and,
belong in
part of
games
that
too, man.
Immersive
It's all
quality
right.
comes down to the sheer
They don't charge for
the
blue.
sheer talent that goes into.
I don't think
our
they're
amazing
Valorant, man.
artists
It'll be
creating this
alright.
world. So yeah, these look. I love these.
yeah, they're great. And then the next set of assets we have here are the Junior Node buildings that Ricky made.
Yeah, Ricky Ho, one of our concept artists, as he begins to kind of diversify the selection of architecture for the Dunir race and all the other races, working with our talented concept team. They provide these production ready concept pieces in order for the production artists, the 3D modelers on the environment side, to really stick to this architectural design in creating these assets. So part of Alpha 1, part of Alpha 1 and moving forward into the different testing phases, because the nodes adopt the predominant culture that gave the node experience to advance, it renders the appropriate culture to represent
that is an
race
amazing
that
system
helped establish that node.
that
we start
makes
fleshing
you
out
want to be
additional
part of
buildings.
the node
These are
leveling up.
constructed in a modular fashion so that they can be mixed and matched to some degree to help not only speed up the production time, but also provide, Devin, one of our environment artists, created a great building tool that you may see a dev diary on our YouTube page, of where essentially you can go through these modular sets and start just pumping out a lot of different buildings, and the concepts here help to guide those necessities.
The concepts are pretty damn good. I like
Yeah, I'm
those.
just gonna go through them quick.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, but as you can see, these are mostly what it looks like village stage building variants that exist within the Dunir culture. The Dunir being a more traditional type of a dwarven race that you might expect from medieval fantasy games.
I've seen
it's always
human
interesting
and
that
elf
these
buildings
usually
right
dwarves
now.
are portrayed inside of a mountain, but here you're going to see literal settlements that are out in the grasslands or out in the tundra or wherever there might be in whatever biome. And
I've seen
that's
more
going to, I
human
think, present
stuff
a
than
really
anything
cool,
right now, because when
really cool and unique
I played a little bit of the
presentation for a
pre-alpha
more
stuff,
traditional
that's
type
all I got.
mountain-dwelling race.
I almost
Yeah,
timed
they're
it
just-
perfectly with your mountain,
pretty
with
good.
your grassland and your tundra. Go for it, Jeff.
Oh, I was just gonna say the dwarves haven't had enough time to excavate the mountains yet when they arrive. So
Right, exactly. Love it.
The map
They
is
haven't
huge.
cleared out the the dark, corrupt denizens that may exist in the mountain.
Perfect.
Bigger than
Now we get to
BDO.
move on to our character art
Um,
team, who submitted a lot
yes.
of great stuff. So we're gonna switch on over to that.
I could
First and foremost,
confidently
we have
say
some
that I think it's
swimming.
bigger
I know
than
a lot
BDO.
of folks have asked about swimming, so I'll let Steven talk over this.
Yeah, so I mean, as you guys know, there's a lot of water content that's planned. You didn't see there in the transition from
Shit
the
building,
above
by the
camera
way.
shader to the below camera shader any type of screen effect that will be applied later, like water kind of drying up or something. But as you can see, this is some fundamental swimming. You will be able to utilize your abilities while in the water. There is going to be naval content that will require large groups of people
I'm a pirate.
participating in water combat as well as ship-to-ship type combat. So we're now just starting to flesh out essentially the buoyancy and physics of the ocean, as well as giving the character animation blueprint the ability to transition from a land state to a water state that utilizes these animations, which our animation team has taken a first pass on. I think they're doing good. Looks good.
Yeah, and like we said, this is early pass, so bear with us. These aren't this isn't final or anything like that. And
This might be my One Piece MMO.
as well. But if you have
So I could be
suggestions,
the
stuff like
Pirate
that, you're
King.
always welcome to head on over to our forums. We love reading all of that. Toast is amazing and puts together reports every month for the dev team. So that is the best place. If you have feedback or suggestions, the best place to go is honestly our forums, because we put together reports for those. It's easier for us to grab data. If you're PMing people, it's really hard for us to grab the PMs from all of Steven, right? Like, we're not going to make reports on that. That's not happening. So, but if you put it on the forums,
12,000 of
we
them.
are able to grab, we're able to grab that data and easily send it over to the design team.
No
I'm just
boss
trying to say,
cocks,
Steven.
only
it's good,
subscription.
because over the past 2 weeks since I did
No box
those 3
cost.
interviews, I think I've had like 9,000 LinkedIn views and probably about 1,000 LinkedIn messages and probably like 3,000 Discord DMs.
And
I got,
as
like,
far
3,000 a
as
day on
the
Discord. It's nuts.
store
just
is
like to preface
concerned,
that
it has been
I
said
try
time and
my
time
best to
again.
read the DMs as much as I can.
Player,
I definitely read the forums and the content creation that happens.
Yep,
in the
15
Reddit.
bucks. Like
That's
like
a little
WoW.
bit easier to get to for me.
Like World of Warcraft
My
without
phone
the,
actually crashes if I try to access my
box
DMs
costs.
on Discord. So I can't do that, but I can do it from the desktop.
Not pay to win.
But we do put
And
together
the
reports for
cosmetics you can
Steam
get
and
from the
design team
store.
and whatnot. So definitely,
Yes.
the best way is the forums. If you have questions, we have a questions channel in our Discord.
Let me
That's a
see
fantastic
if I
place
can
to
actually
go.
get this through.
Beyond that, Toast and I try our best to get through all of the
Cosmetics you can get in the
messages,
store
Violet
are
as
going to
well.
be
Like, we try our
complementary
best
to those that
go
you
through all of
can
those
earn
things
in
and all of
game.
our social media, but the best way to provide feedback is over on the forums.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have a CS problem, the best place is to put in a ticket. So without that, we're going to go on to the next one. You all have really, really loved our lovely goblin friend. And now we have one of the variants completed so you can see it with textures. Look how awesome he is.
Yeah,
Hey.
this is one of the NPC monsters that represents one of the tribes of the goblin race in the world as a adversary. He is definitely on the green side.
That
People have
green
been
looked
asking
good.
for him they're like, goblin playable race. I'm like, not currently planned. I'm never gonna say never, but not
Well,
currently. We already have
technically-
9.
Technically, through the
posted
monster
this
coin
stuff.
system, there are potentially events that will occur where you may have multiple of these NPCs grouping up to kind of disable services at a node and will
Yeah,
require
found
the
your
response
Pac-Man.
of the citizens. And if you have a monster coin available, you could play as a goblin for a short period of time or some other type of monster. And the more you play and become successful during those events and helping to kind of disable the nodes that exist, not destroy them, you will be able to get unique cosmetics as a participation achievement in those monster coin systems. So that's something that's interesting.
Good call, Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Furries, I am
was like,
completely
actually, I
with you
didn't
on
think about
that.
the monster coin system.
Please,
Yeah,
no
you
playable
get his
furry races.
loincloth, and then you just wear the loincloth on your character, and it's
Goblins,
a
I'm
goblin loincloth,
fine
you know what I mean?
with.
That'd be
I'm actually
great.
okay with goblins.
So our next one here is actually robes. Speaking of clothing, we're going to show the Kalar robes here. We'll start with the starter one and then like a level up of that.
All right. I think I saw the grayscale.
Yep, it's just the grayscale version. So
Oh, okay, got it.
yeah, that's all this is.
Hey,
We'll show
Yeah,
textures
so
probably
looks
next. month or
nice.
something.
I like that.
So this is one
clothing
of,
design.
one of the very early kind of. Is this an NPC or is this character armor?
I think
this is
might
an
be
NPC.
NPC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like NPC to me.
So this, yeah, I was gonna say I don't see
Yes.
the cuts. I was like, that's interesting. Yeah, this would be, as we construct different armor sets for NPCs to mix and match with, you're going to see more of this, more of these NPC clothing and armor that comes online. This one looks like a character. This one looks like character. I can see the pieces
Look.
on the arm and the coat and stuff.
Yeah. Level up of it. So maybe they're
That
both
that is a
like-
Yeah, I
mage.
guess they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 1. Okay, so this is progressive. So essentially, we're showing kind of how these character armors are constructed. They gradually increase in silhouette size, not because your armor is going to progress per se in the game, but on a production side in the game, in the development of the game, we use base pieces to help level up these
Yes, agreed,
armors and
GG.
grow the silhouette so that they become appropriate pieces that can be utilized in higher tier armor sets that the players can achieve. And then they get diversified through the materials and the textures and the colors and the thematic components that can be applied as attachments. These essentially get diversified.
All right. And then our next one here is the Spellbreaker's Gauntlet.
Ooh, this
That
one's
looks
nice.
nice.
So this is a cosmetic. Now this is the final model. This is the finished model.
This
Yep,
is not
this is-
the concept art.
This is not concept. So this gauntlet here was a cosmetic. When was this cosmetic? Was it a long time ago?
I could look, but I'd have to. Actually, I can look.
Bruh.
right now. I don't have to be on. video.
Like what?
Yeah, long time ago. Basically, your armor exists in I believe it's an eight piece set that you can individually apply cosmetic appearances towards. So you would have a glove armor piece that you would then apply
See,
this
get confused with
what's it called, the gauntlet of
Spellbreaker's Gauntlet.
Spellbreaker's Gauntlet. So you can apply this cosmetic appearance to the gauntlet. Now, this in the game, this portrays a little 3D effects above the gauntlet that will be rotating, and it might actually glow and brighten as you cast an ability or an ability effect occurs. Right? It might call the glow to
Doctor
to
Strange?
animate and move.
Huh? Doctor
But,
Strange
this
much
is the
here?
in-game model of that Spellbreaker's Gauntlet.
My cat has interrupted.
It's like
Chat's
Celtic
probably moving.
It's pretty great when we can just see the tail.
Green Lantern.
It would be the July 2018 to August
Celtic
2018.
Lantern.
Thank you,
Oh, there you go.
Violet
Okay.
Lights,
2
for
years
sending
ago.
that my way. You are
Oh my
lovely.
god. Where's the time gone? I feel like my life is flying by.
I know, it's crazy.
It's just
That's game design.
one large game design. Exactly.
Comes with a skirt.
I don't even remember living before starting Intrepid. Like, my headspace has been completely vacated and now only exists in ashes.
So the next ones we have are all of the creature stuff. So this is a lot of the creature animation and creature particle effects. So the first one is going to be actually the troll, and it's specifically you're looking at the particle effects on the attack. So as you're looking at this, don't look at the other things. Look at specifically the particle effects on the attack.
Particle effects. Here we go.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so this is just some pretty simple effects on the attack animations that you're seeing, which, you know, give it a little bit more oomph as you see different creatures' attacks occur.
Yeah, before we were using kind of generic sort of particle events for impacts and stuff, and this is sort of integrating some of those like to the actual animation.
And yeah,
of the
Alpha
creatures
1
that
is
you use.
soon.
So it's a little bit
I mean,
more
if-
mature. It gives kind of it reduces the amount of sort of genericness to the NPCs
And then Alpha
gives them
2,
character.
and
So-
then
Yeah.
I like that you used the word
even the
feature.
betas right now are still
Couture.
closed. They
One
haven't
of
done
those words.
open
I'm never sure if I'm
on
gonna
that.
use it right.
No, that was,
Um,
that was a good word. Good
Jeff
way of using
parle
it.
français très bien.
Yes.
C'est très bon.
I think right now you're
All right. Next we
you're
have
looking at like a year
our
plus
War
at
Beast
this
animation.
point.
We showed
is
a little
my,
bit of
like,
the War Beast before, and people lost their
safe
minds.
bet.
So enjoy this now. And this is like the War Beast is a Jency creation. She's amazing. Hi, Jency. Someday I'll get you on the stream.
Yay.
I think it's so huge.
It's massive, yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have a scale next to it, but
Yeah.
this dude's pretty big.
Like elephant size was it? Right?
Yeah.
Or maybe a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit smaller than Elephant, but there's a
Like I'm
variant
gonna
of him
be
that's
playing
gargantuan and
Shadowlands
carries
before
one
I
of the
play
siege-
this,
carries
which
one
kind
of
of
the siege
sucks.
weapons.
But
The
it'll
first
be all
one
right.
that Jency made, Steven was like, "That is huge."
Adrena, this is gonna be like
Look how
worth
pretty
the
it
wait.
is. He's
Oh,
so
look at
he has a
those
little
shadows,
scene.
man!
Oh yeah,
Aw.
they got very
Nice
excited about
Bright
showcasing.
campfire.
Thank you, Tristan.
Can you just imagine being in the game and you just hear this like thundering
And you're gonna be
movement
sad
over, like, a
watching,
hill and you just
uh,
turn.
That thing comes
Gonna
at
be
you.
sad
This thing
watching my
breaks the
streams, man.
horizon, and
As soon as
just
something
like
new
this
comes
dude
out,
just
I'll be all
charging
about
you,
it.
And you're just like, huh? What do you do here?
I run, or I
That
like.
happened to us in a Pathfinder game one time. Kevin was DMing, and there was a herd of, I believe it was bison, and we were like level 2, and one of our people had been trampled, so we tried to like help him, and then they trampled us and killed the entire party.
I don't think it was a bison. I just think it was something
by
else.
bison.
Yeah, TPK by bison.
It was a big creature, though. At least the one that I was part of. We had a similar situation like that. And McP was also the one DMing.
He loves
Not
killing people
surprised.
with herds.
Yeah. The next one is going to be our ram. So you saw this last week. You saw the ram
I haven't seen
ram
the fur
collar.
on this guy. It looks so good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they're
horns
definitely
are.
refining their fur and hair cards.
Look at that ram.
It's like that scraggly goat hair, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks great. I think this was Carson that did this little dude. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
The, not the animations of them, but the.
No. Sorry, he did the model.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who did these animations. It might be Myers, I believe.
There it is.
Oh, but
again.
there he is with his caravan.
Look at that. Look at that goat caravan,
Yeah, so
man.
this is a Dunir influenced caravan. You can see by the bulkiness and the armor plating on the spokes and the wheels. And this is in game. The different types of caravans that you can
Bro,
own,
look at that.
essentially as you commission them will take the appearance of the cosmetic you have applied.
And then our next one is going to be our lovely spider.
Goat too small for the cart.
First, this is the
Oh,
turntable of the
yeah.
spider, so you can see the entire model of it.
So this is an enemy NPC that's going to be, obviously arachnids
Speeders.
are a fan favorite when it comes to fantasy games, and this is one of the initial spider creatures that are used. There's several variants. Jinsey modeled these.
Think of how big those are.
They're
Thank you,
going to
Jinsey, for
have.
making the translucent one. That was like, I was like,
Spike
"Can you
on the
make a
butt."
translucent one?" She's like, I'll try.
Yeah, so these are just some examples of the different spiderlings, and
Yeah,
they'll
that
vary
one
in
looks
size
almost
as
like
well.
translucent.
You have some that are very large,
Almost
up to
looks
the head
kinda
height of the
see-through.
character, and some that are smaller, maybe to the kneecaps.
Like a
shanky
cave-
in the
like a
knees. That
cave
little
spider
spider
and
will do
shit.
probably, but yeah, these look good. I like these.
It's
Yeah,
awesome.
they're awesome. I like their little hair pieces, and obviously, well, different types of spiders too. Like not
Those
just
would
normal pieces,
100%
but various spiders.
explode.
All the people who are afraid of spiders are probably horrified right now.
Hey, it's good to face your fears. MMOs help in that regard.
Makes you stronger.
Yeah.
All those little mandible wiggles.
Well, he's hungry. He hasn't probably eaten in a while.
Oh,
Oh,
that's so creepy.
oh,
Nope.
oh no,
Nope, I'm running.
oh no, oh no,
Oh
no,
my
no,
God! Look at
no.
its mouth.
No,
Oh,
no.
It has teeth. Why does it have teeth? Well, I thought it's just supposed to have mandibles. It has teeth.
Oh,
too.
imagine it spitting out like acid and stuff too.
Oh no! Don't go towards them.
Oh my god, that's how big they are.
There you go. There's a little
No, so
monsters.
this is not. The mobs are not completely done. They're just showing the attack animations.
Yeah.
Mine still has AI stuff to do with it.
Makes my skin
Because I'm
crawl.
sure Jeff is looking at it. Being like,
Could you imagine if you had a small mesh where you couldn't see the spider and it was like one of those funnel spiders on the beach, and as you're walking past, just like it erupts out of the ground and attacks you? It's like
Great.
having those randomly placed throughout the world, not so much like in a hunting ground where but like just random spawners of funnel spiders that pop out of the ground and
like
just
you
scare
walk
the
over it and you don't even know that there's a spider underneath you because it's like flat on the ground.
Steven,
oh my God.
no.
The sound
No,
mix
no,
of it is
no,
totally
no,
off,
no.
so it's
Oh yeah,
Scary.
the sound mix is
compared-
super loud.
No,
yes.
you don't
And
get
you
to
just
do
hear
that.
the clapping of the mandibles and the teeth. That'd be great.
No, no.
It'd be
no.
cool if we could integrate that with like
Nope.
future, computer seats that have like tactile response, and when
A
that
little bit on
event,
their neck.
yeah, when that event occurs, the seat touches you. You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
Fuck you, Steven.
Oh yeah.
No.
It would definitely be crazy.
Start losing players to heart attacks.
Yeah, we need
There-
to add that to our scope creep, by the way. Creation of tactile seats that integrate with calls in game for.
Is that going to go with our VR
Nope,
experience?
nope,
No.
nope, nope, nope,
Just
nope.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh no. And I think you made a good point about like feature creep and stuff because I have seen a lot of comments regarding that, and we're obviously going to wrap up our show today. But we are always going to be conscious of our production line. Our producers are
Oh, yeah.
amazing in making sure that we can stick to our schedule. Obviously, we're kind of a little bit ahead schedule in
Give me a
some
minute, guys.
aspects because everyone's working from home and really focused. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that we want to put into the game. Doesn't mean everything's going to make it at every milestone. Doesn't mean everything's going to make it at launch. So just keep that in mind. But we'll set the expectations with the content that we put out on our news site. We'll always let you guys know what is going to be coming up. Stay tuned for that. We have a lot of articles for Alpha 1 coming out that will talk about each of the classes, because I know classes and combat are one of the major things y'all want to hear about. As Jeff and his design team finalize each of the classes that are going to be in Alpha, I believe there's going to be 6 of them, correct, for Alpha?
There's going to be 5 for Alpha, I believe.
Okay.
5, yes.
Yeah, so we'll be releasing an article about each of those as well as some video content, so you'll know which abilities are going to be there, what stage it will be in, and also like the next milestone after that, after Alpha 1. So kind of what kind of feedback we're looking for each of those things. And then we'll also have stuff for systems and the races and things of that sort. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff to share with you all. So without further ado, I will wrap up the show unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
Yeah, absolutely. Just wanted to reiterate. I know that right now, because of the exposure over the last couple of weeks, a lot of new eyes are on the project, and again, I want to thank everybody for, their support in lending to this discussion about what makes MMORPGs great. We cannot thank you guys enough for coming and joining on the Discord, subscribing to social media on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook.
I
You
want
guys
that 10K Insta so I can have the swipe up. I need the swipe up mechanic.
So with that being said, however, I do want to make sure we temper that hype by letting you know this is a process. Our goal is to create a quality product that has a good launch. And that means making sure that we take our time to ensure the quality of that product, that it makes you guys proud, it makes us proud. So there is still a long road obviously ahead, but the great thing about a transparent development is you get to watch us all along that way. And I know it's difficult to see the game and hear the philosophies and the ideas and just not be overcome with complete grief that you can't play right now. But I've always said that, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. So having that patience and keeping with us along this development period, we all appreciate that at the studios. It is a significant motivator for our developers to just see the sheer love coming from our community. So we appreciate that so much, and we love you guys from the studios 100%.
Thank you so much. And to the people who are like our OG folks who have been super helpful, I also want to give a shout out to you. You have been answering a lot of questions, being really kind to the new folks, welcoming them in, and we greatly appreciate that. Like, words cannot describe
absolutely.
how, because it's been a lot of people that even Toast and I and Violet are not able to necessarily, answer. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
MMOs live and die by their community, and we've got one of the best ones in the industry. So.
absolutely. Yep.
So with that, we'll wrap things up. Reminders, I'll just go through them really quick. We do have new emotes on the Discord. Definitely go check them out. They are so adorable. We are trying to get them on Twitch, so stay tuned for that. We'll do our best to link up with them and get that going. We do have a bonus dev discussion this month, which is multi-boxing. So definitely go answer that. That's going to be wrapping up July 6th because Toast has to put together a report for the dev team so that they can go talk and discuss it. It's going to be heated, I'm sure. And then we also have another one coming up for August. We won't skimp you on any dev discussions, as Jeff and his team have a lot of questions that they would like to hear the community's perspective on. Beyond that, our monthly cosmetic swap over will be at 11 a.m. August 5th, 2020, so stay tuned for that. We will be showcasing the new set soon, so stay tuned for that. And the last but not least, we have our test coming up. If you are Leader of Men or Phoenix Initiative, definitely check your email. We'll be sending out another update today for folks who did not sign yet, or if you're still in the ticket system, it might catch you as well. We definitely need people to sign it, so definitely check your inbox. It might be in your spam or junk, but definitely go check that and reply so that we can get you all flagged up and get you ready for testing, because we want to start doing our next test here in August, and we need that done first. With that, we lastly, don't forget that our statue, all you have to do is register on our site. You don't have to do anything else. No.
If you
payment or
haven't done
anything,
it
just
yet,
our
register
account,
on their
register your
site.
account. Anybody from April 7th, 2020 to September 7th, 2020 will get access to that. I think I can put that up on screen again.
Including all previous registrations.
And
before
yeah,
April,
including all previous
You
registrations.
automatically get the statue.
I guess I didn't need a start date for it.
yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking that. I'm just so used to having a start and end date for things. My mind. And that's it. So thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Steven, for taking time out of your day. I know you both are very extremely busy, so we really super duper appreciate it. Thank you to all of you who tuned in. We appreciate it. Thank you to the entire Intrepid Studios. Everyone has done an amazing job of, kind of showcasing content every month. And we'll be with you all another update next month. So stay tuned for that. We'll let you know in advance whenever that's coming up. So without that, we will put this video up on YouTube. Check it out, youtube.com/AstersOfCreation. You can go ahead and subscribe now. It'll probably be up later today, depending on YouTube. Otherwise, it'll be tomorrow morning. And we will also post on all of our socials. So follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Please, Instagram. I want that swipe up mechanic. Bye!
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
All right. So that was that. That was a nice little bit that I haven't seen yet before. That was amazing. So now I have to actually... Yo, man, go do some mythics and stuff. I still have to figure out exactly what is up with my Canon camera. So right now, I will kind of be messing with that around, guys. I'm still around right here, so I'll periodically be looking over at chat, talking with you guys and stuff right now, just listen to the music, while I try and figure out this Canon camera issue that I have going on. GG, man, thank you for coming in. Thank you for subscribing and everything. And I will promise you here in the next few days we shall have those badges and emotes all done. So what is going on here? So I'm trying to get this Canon camera actually done. Oh, no worry, guys. I am still here, just trying to figure out this camera issue. Alright, guys, I'm feeling like there's not going to be tabletop tonight. If you guys give me another couple minutes, I'm going to try and see if I can figure out the camera stuff. And I will be back up shortly after, okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and right now... like I normally would here. What happened here? What's going on with the scene? Oh, I know what happened there. Alright. So, I will see you guys here in just a few minutes, alright? Thanks, guys.